Hey, it's me, Charlotte, and this video I'm going to talk about the courses that you take first semester and just a bit about second semester in fashion design. This is probably one of the topics I was not anxious about, but most excited about coming to Ryerson because in my high school, we didn't really have much in the terms of fashion, and then, art course was just art. That was it. That's such a broad term. And so I didn't do a lot of that, like, formally in high school. So most of my courses were quite irrelevant to me. So I honestly didn't really know what to expect to have a full course load of everything related to art and fashion, which is very exciting. So first semester, for everyone, communications, design, it's combined first year. It is illustration, fashion design, fundamentals of color and design, textiles, art history, and intro to fashion. 6 courses is a full course load. You won't be thinking, I have too much free time. Trust me, you will. So let's talk about illustration first. Illustration, you draw a life model. So naked person stands in the middle, ring of desks, you draw them. Simple as that. Brief overview. Next, fashion design. You are split, not you're split, sorry. The course is split into 2 separate sections. For the first part of the semester, you will be learning pattern drafting, so I hope you've worked with patterns before. You're learning how to draft and learning how to manipulate them. So, you can take your designs and turn them into actual plans that could be produced and manufactured. And then that was a weird sound my throat just made. And then in the second half, you move on construction in the sewing labs where you are sewing. Yeah. And you sew 2 projects, a shirt and a skirt, and they give you the patterns, and it's all about just teaching you basic. So if you're an advanced sewer, you've really got it kind of easy, but they're very picky, I'm not gonna lie. Like my strength, I'm a design student, so my strength is in design versus like communications, like graphics, art, business, and so they're really picky about it. And I'll talk about marks and profs in another video. Anyways, the next course, fundamentals of color and design. I'm going to rename it. I'm going to call it graphic design because that makes so much more sense when you look at what you're actually doing in that course. It's a lot about like poster design, a lot about how you do text, how you use color, fundamentals of color and design. I'd compare it most to just, it's the closest thing you'll have to a high school art class. Not in the sense the caliber, but the type of projects you do. It's more variety of medium you use. Textiles, that is split into a lab and a lecture. The lecture, you sit there and someone lectures about textiles. Okay, that was just saying out loud. And then the lab is where you look at small samples of fabric and you analyze them and learn about how they're made and why certain fabrics behave one way and behave another. It's actually, I really enjoy the lab, and that's a really good way to boost your mark in textiles. Then there's art history. That might be a big groaner for some people, but honestly, I really enjoyed it because I have good memory, which is a lot in art history. A lot of remembering dates, a lot of remembering artists, a lot of remembering, pictures that are associated with certain artists and dates. I'm not going to lie to you. It is some people's worst course because they're not very strong in memorization. It's not like they really mark your understanding. It's honestly more about regurgitation. Not going to lie. That can be a really difficult course. And then lastly, we have Intro to Fashion, which is a lecture. And honestly, it's meh. I did not feel strongly about it. It's looking at fashion from more of a social and business aspect versus an artistic aspect, if that makes any sense in anyone's head. And so you'll be talking about things like why certain trends happen, how fashion's produced, the difference between certain levels of fashion. You'll be talking about like enviro fashion, like how it's impacting socially, economically. It's the business side. It's an intro to fashion. And that has a whopper assignment at the end, which I'll talk about in a different video. As for second semester, I'm just going to gloss over this because you won't even be worrying about second semester and first semester. Don't even think about it. Second semester is a continuation of all these courses. So instead of illustration 1, you'll have illustration 2. And that's the same for every single course, except for textiles. You only take that for 1 semester. And that is replaced by an elective of your choice from Table A. And I'll talk about that in a totally different video about how you select that course in course selection, which will be halfway through first semester. Also, all these courses, there will be a course outline that the prof makes available to you within the first week. Honestly, profs I have, most of them graduated from the program themselves in like 90s, 2000s, and they are doing the same projects that we're still doing. So I'm going to post my outlines from my past year for this year because nothing much has changed. And if it has, it'll just be the dates on the sideboard or very minimal things. The projects have stayed the same time and time again. So I will post those outlines for you so you have a little better idea about what's going on. And other than that, I'll talk to you guys in another video. Bye!